Today we're going to talk about dietary supplements, biologically active food additives. Maybe you've already heard about them, maybe you've even used them or come across them somewhere. So, what exactly are they? Which supplements are good and which ones are bad? Which supplements can you use and which ones shouldn't you or might even be dangerous? Let's figure it out together. The term supplements refers to biologically active food additives, which are essentially which are food, and an essential condition, it's part of the definition of a supplement, is that they have absolutely no biological effect like medicines or chemical substances. It's just food. But it's food that's, let's say, a little exotic, unusual for my region, where I live, not typical for my usual range of foods, but it's still a food supplement. It's food. It's in no way a medicine. And a supplement, by definition, must not have any effect on my body. Sellers of supplements always, without exception, absolutely must lie. I've encountered supplements and supplement sellers many times, and this is an absolutely essential condition for working with supplement sellers. In other words, if you don't lie, you won't be able to. Lying is the fundamental principle behind distributing, selling, and making money from supplements. So, for starters, they say the supplement does this and that, achieves this and that. Guys, that's already a lie. If it's a supplement, it doesn't have any effect. That's built right into the very name, biologically active food supplement. It's food. But if someone tells you that a supplement has some effect, there are two options. Either it doesn't have any effect and they're lying to you, which is often the case. Or it does have an effect, but then it's not a supplement, it's some kind of drug, some kind of substance. And if it really had the effect that's claimed or intended, then such a supplement would be considered a medicine. So, what's the difference between a medicine and a supplement? A medicine always has some effect on our body, while supplements do not. And every supplement would like to become a medicine. But when tested against a placebo, that is, a sugar pill, when compared to a sugar pill, supplements never show any real result. Well, if supplements do show some effect during testing, it happens sometimes, they are immediately classified as medicines, and medicines, well, are sold much more than supplements after that. But supplements consistently fail to show results in placebo-controlled studies. The second thing is that supplements are said to be of natural origin. That's why. All supplements are chemically created substances. There can be natural components in them too, just like in medicines. But for the most part, supplements are chemically synthesized, fairly cheap substances that are called natural for just one reason. Remember why? Lying is absolutely necessary there. In other words, if you tell the truth, you can't work with supplements. You absolutely have to lie, and preferably about everything. And then the next lie is that supplements are supposedly made somewhere in Europe, at some super fancy factories, somewhere in Switzerland, Austria, Australia, everywhere. But that's nonsense too. They're just made in ordinary conditions, like any chemical production. Of course, they'll show you some clever videos, somewhere in the Caribbean or something like that. But the point is just to lie. And that's why you shouldn't get involved with supplements at all. But is it possible for supplements to actually have some effect? Yes, I've come across two cases, actually, when supplements do have an effect. The first case is when taking supplements led to poisoning of the body. Well, if there's poisoning, then there must be some effect after all, some kind of chemical, a toxic, poisonous substance is present, and it causes the body to be poisoned. The scariest thing is, when I do capillaroscopy, I see dilated, stretched capillaries. These are signs of toxic damage to the vascular wall. But there is no poisoning. That is, the person doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't use drugs. He seems healthy, but for some reason, the vascular reaction is as if there is severe poisoning. Upon examination, it turns out he is taking supplements from a certain company, and these supplements are poisoning him. This is a toxic, poisonous effect. Well, obviously, he's taking some kind of chemical. The second thing I encounter is that some supplements have a narcotic effect. Imagine, in one, I'm not going to name names and do negative advertising, but a company that sold a lot of supplements across the country, suddenly, during testing, they find a small amount of LSD. That's diethylysergic acid. Just LSD, which they put into supplements and sell under a brand. Basically, they're selling LSD. It's horrifying. Yeah, of course, people have amazing results. Ask anyone, and the products from this company are just fantastic, because my knees used to hurt, but after taking the supplements, nothing hurts anymore. I'm happily dancing, singing, going for walks, having a great time. Everything's great. The supplements brought back my youth. Makes you want to go clubbing in Holland, or maybe in France. You get what I mean, right? LSD inside the supplements. But honestly, they later hushed up the situation, paid a large sum of money, and now these products are back on the market. But, their reputation is still a little bit tarnished. Just keep in mind that sometimes supplements can have certain effects, either toxic effects or narcotic effects, to make people dependent. But a supplement will not have a therapeutic effect. If a supplement does have some beneficial therapeutic effect, it is immediately reclassified as a medicine, and its sales skyrocket 100-fold. Everyone would love for their supplements to become medicines. Everyone would love for their supplements to be prescribed by doctors. Everyone would love for their supplements to be included in treatment protocols. But they are never included in treatment protocols because these are things that definitely do not deliver results. And supplements are not part of the treatment package covered by insurance medicine. Because with insurance medicine, it's some guy from the insurance company who will now be paying for your treatment. Do you really think he'll pay for these supplements when it's been proven that they don't work? He won't do that. That's why supplements are not included in treatment packages in insurance medicine. Just keep that in mind. And in general, I wouldn't recommend using questionable, sometimes even outright toxic products for your body, because you definitely don't need that. I'm all for a healthy lifestyle and natural ways to get rid of illnesses.